Hey, what's up guys, Roman here, MonsterGadgets, and there's a lot of exciting stuff happening around Apple right now. There's a lot of rumors circulating about the iPhone in 2020 as well as 2021. I know it's crazy right now, it's December of 2019, and iPhone 11 just came out a couple months ago, but it's exciting to hear about what's in development for 2020 and 2021. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, as well as what it means to have 5G here in the US, not only for Apple, but also other carriers as well. So let's go ahead and dive into it after this intro. Alright, so we know that Apple is not the first person to always come out with newer things. They're kind of known for having certain things in place and kind of making it better. For example, primary example, wireless charging. Wireless charging was available in other carriers multiple years before Apple came out and introduced it in the iPhone. Apple does come out and kind of shake things up. So they took out the headphone jack, which a lot of people fought back on, including myself. I was kind of upset about why they did it, but they did. So in certain things, they kind of change the market. In other things, they kind of wait until they've got a good grasp on things, and then they help develop it even further or tweak it to make it better. So in 2020, one of the major things Apple will be introducing on their iPhones will be actual 5G connectivity. Now, 5G already currently exists in the market with other vendors, other providers, other manufacturers, but Apple currently doesn't support 5G. So first, before we even get into what that is, let's talk a little about what 5G really is. So what is 5G? 5G is the fifth generation of internet or connectivity to your wireless device. Let's just leave it at that as a basic. But there's three bands in how 5G works. So first band is the high band, which is short waves that covers a small area and is capable of super fast data transmissions, but can't really penetrate through buildings. So what this means is there's got to be multiple towers, especially in bigger cities where there are high rises and other buildings, which might prevent it from being able to transmit the actual signal. Next, we have the mid-band. The mid-band is the mid-length waves being used as a balance between high speeds and range. And this basically covers a broader area with faster speed. So they're not as fast as the high band, but they're kind of a balance between distance and speed. Next, we have the low band. And low band basically is long waves have a greater range and aren't affected by obstacles. So they're able to penetrate through buildings and other obstacles that are in the way, and they're able to bring 5G in more places. So the speed isn't going to be as fast as a high band speed or a mid band speed, but they cover basically a greater area because they're able to go through buildings. So those are the three different bands of 5G. All right, so the reason I think Apple hasn't introduced this 5G connectivity in iPhone 11 was because they're kind of waiting to see how the market responds to it, have more coverage available through different providers such as T-Mobile, Verizon, and all the major carriers that are out here in the US. So I think Apple's kind of sitting back, waiting for them to develop, waiting for them to get the towers up until they are fully capable of offering 5G speeds throughout the US, which makes sense. They don't want to release a phone that has 5G connectivity, but it only covers maybe, let's just say 20%, 25% of the area in the US, and people are going to be pretty ticked off about that. So while yes, there are other providers out there with phones capable of 5G connectivity, they are limited by what the providers from a wireless carrier standpoint is able to offer. I know T-Mobile just came out with their release of the 5G, and they're advertising it very heavily here in the US market on what areas it covers and things like that, but they're able to kind of use the 4G LTE as well as low band 5G to be able to offer that here in the US. As I mentioned, the high band, you kind of really have to be within that area without the obstacles in the way to truly take advantage of that 5G speed. So that's kind of what's happening in 2020, and kudos to Apple for kind of waiting to get the market fully penetrated with 5G area coverage before they come out with it in the iPhone 12. All right, I think the 5G connectivity is going to be the biggest upgrade as far as connection goes for the iPhone 12. But according to Mac rumors, there's going to be a couple of different variants of iPhone 12 that'll be released. So number one, in 2020, I guess they're still sticking with iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro. As far as the names go, and then they should have a three different variant screen display, so 5.4, 6.7, as well as a 6.1 inch display. Now, 6.7 inch display and the one with 6.1 inch are going to have hopefully the higher OLED display, with the triple lens cameras, while the 5.4 inch and the 6.1 inch will have the lower end display with dual lens cameras like they have similar to the iPhone 11 this year. All right, so let's talk a little about 2021. I know when I mentioned earlier, Apple kind of upset the market when they came out with releasing or removing the headphone jack. Well, in 2021, there's rumors that Apple will take out any ports that are on the iPhone, just have a plain flat bottom, probably with speakers, but no ports, which kind of makes sense. I think a lot of people are using the wireless charging these days. Obviously, they're also using the wireless headphones. So do we really need any additional ports in the bottom of the phone? Probably not. I think it would make sense to get rid of them. And I know a lot of people will be upset about it, probably myself as well, just because it'll be an adjustment to go fully wireless with everything. But it makes sense. I think that's going to be the kind of the way of the future with wireless charging, as well as wireless headsets and earphones and things of that nature. So I think when they get rid of any ports in the bottom, I think it'll also improve with waterproofing. So who knows, maybe we'll be able to use our actual phones more like action cameras underwater and things like that if need be, versus what we're capable of right now. So who knows? It's a lot of exciting stuff, a lot of new development. Obviously, this is a couple years in advance, so these are just kind of rumors, but I think the rumors definitely do tell a story of where we're headed from a technological standpoint, and I think this is very exciting. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, if you would or wouldn't like the iPhone without any ports, or if you prefer having the ports for charging and connectivity to your headphones. I'd love to kind of hear what you guys have to say. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.